Corey was very young. And when you go and you transition to being somebody who's like not looked at, to somebody who's being admired by many women, and then you throw a lot of money into the factor, and then a young man on top of that, that's really just a recipe for disaster. And you're going to have to let that young man go through the process of bumping his own head before he can be what he needs to be to anybody's woman or anybody's daughter, if that makes any sense.
Yo, I'm destined for fame. Every lesson sticks in my brain. Blessings, they come and go through adolescence. The pain was a lot to cope with. The dope destroyed and conquer. Hope for mama faded when it raided the veins. I've been doing soul searching, just examine itself. Go bananas cause the herb don't manage to help. The only conclusion I drawn, doing some harm with serving someone else's mom with a back for my bond while I was getting richer as a daughter, a son.
Family, what it do? It's your girl Tamika, and I am back with another vid, you dig? Shout out to the family S&T squad, man. It's been about 6 or 7 days since I uploaded on this channel, and I apologize, but I miss y'all. Seriously, I appreciate you guys for coming back and tuning in. If it's your first time here, I'm gonna need you to take the time right now and smash that subscribe button. We're on the road to 100K, and we need your help. No cap. Pardon my dude. I'm sorry. I got to keep the dreads tight. You feel what I'm saying? Locked and loaded down here in Florida. It's actually really beautiful out here, and I love to keep my dreads up. You dig? But yo, we about to get into this Corey and Carmen video. There was a lot of people that was sending me DMs, you know what I'm saying, about this particular situation. And y'all know I'm extra, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I would like to really research certain things to gain better insight and understanding before I just be talking. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I think that can get you in trouble. I'm just keeping it a stack. You get to relaying wrong information to the masses. It's not really a good look, because it ain't like you can take it down once it's up. You dig what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what we about to do. We about to get into this Corey and Carmen situation. So without further ado, stay tuned. The people who don't know, Corey and Carmen is a young couple on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Actually, there's some, they're the real deal. There's some very big influencers. They make a shit ton of money. You know what I'm saying? And what's going on right now is Corey has another baby by another female. And it's really not that's very disturbing. It's just the number of times that he has disrespected his wife. You know what I'm saying? That I think a lot of people have a problem with. Now, let's keep it a stack. You know what I'm saying? When they met, they was young, and Corey was very young. And when you go and you transition to being somebody who's like not looked at, to somebody who's being admired by many women, and then you throw a lot of money into the factor, and then a young man on top of that, that's really just a recipe for disaster. And you're going to have to let that young man go through the process of bumping his own head before he can be what he needs to be to anybody's woman or anybody's daughter, if that makes any sense. Now, I'm not condoning anything that he do, but sometimes, or what he's done, but sometimes a lot of females, they come along and they feel like they can interrupt that process. And what that means is that sometimes niggas gotta bump their head before they can be the kings that they need to be to these queens, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes women feel like they can love, you know what I'm saying, a man so much that it's gonna just automatically make them do the right thing, and that's just not the case. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people can have an instruction manual on how to do something. You know what I mean? But you gotta bump your own head before you really gonna take certain shit serious. And I really feel like that was like a real big problem with Corey early on in the relationship. But now you fast forward, you got a wife now. You have 2 sons already. Now, you know what I'm saying, you gotta start being responsible for the actions that you make. And I just feel like he's failed miserably. Let's just put it out there, you know what I'm saying? But look, I wanna get into this particular clip. Because like I said, this video will probably be 1 or 2 parts or whatever, because I really wanted to start with his sit down that he had, because there was certain things that I really wanted to talk about from that video. So without further ado, let's take a look at one of the clips. Let's look.
And sometimes I look at my wife, I look in her eyes, I can kind of see the pain that I put her through. How could I hurt this person that never done me wrong? You understand what I'm saying?
One thing that I will say, I think in this particular video, he spoke very candidly. And anybody with sense pretty much knew this story before the story was even told by him. You know what I'm saying? It's just some people just understand it because some people done went through this walk of life.
I'm finally being able to talk to like the pretty girls that I always wanted to talk to. 5 to 6 different girls at one time.
I can recall going through a similar situation, and I mean, not in the sense of being very, very famous online or anything like that, but I went through a transition to where I used to be very insecure. Then I went through this little stage and this area of a glow up when I was a little younger. And I feel like the ego, you know what I'm saying, grew in that period to where I did. I think I probably felt short on being the person that I was supposed to be when it came down to relationships, because the ego got involved. You know what I'm saying? I looked better when I looked in the mirror, and the women was recognizing that. And it played a part on me hurting people that I probably shouldn't have hurt. And again, I'm not condoning my behavior or Corey's, but I had to go through those situations to be the person that I needed to be to my now wife. 2
of the girls I dealt with became pregnant.
Some people, you know what I'm saying, can go through a situation and alleviate hurting their person, you know what I'm saying, altogether, because you might do some wrong shit and the person you're with at the time is like, look, I don't want to have nothing to do with it anymore. So then you move on and you meet somebody else, and now you get to be this phenomenal person to this new person. When in all actuality, you should have been that person to the old person, but life don't always work that way. You know what I'm saying? Because a woman should also know her worth. And after being hurt so many times, she now has a right to say, you know what? I gave you chance after chance. I cannot do this anymore. And move the fuck on. And in a lot of cases, that's what happened. In their case, she still staying.
When I met Carmen, I knew for a fact that she was the one. But for some reason, I still cheated.
Would Carmen be wrong for staying?
She came out different, 100% different. A lot of the things that my exes did, she didn't do.
Let's talk about it, because we've had a lot of females go through this particular situation. You know what I'm saying? But I really want to have it, because there's going to be some people who is not going to be with it. And then surprisingly, I think there's going to be a lot of people that's going to encourage her to stay.
I'm not going to do this to you, I'm not going to do that to you, but I did it.
I'm not even going to cap to you. I'm pretty impressed by just how honest he was in this particular video. And regardless of what anybody want to think, you know what I'm saying, this is going to be the first step of anything good happening from their relationship if they do decide, or if Carmen do decide to stick around. It's going to take counseling and prayer, no cap.
It hurt me to see how much I hurt a person that just never done that to me, you know what I'm saying?
So drop it down in the comments. I want to know.
A lot of people hate me because of what I've done to her in the past, and I understand that.
But look, next we're going to get into his ex. And I wanted to play a particular clip of what she said, and I want to talk about that as well. So let's take a look at the clip.